Heroscape Age of Annihilation Battle for the Wellspring is a battle box and also a standalone set. Let's find out what's inside this, find out something about the characters, and see how you would like to use them in your next game of Heroscape, here on Legendary Tactics. Rusky and Flash have joined me, and we're going to present 2 characters each of the 6 that are in this box. Let's open it up and find out what's inside.
Well, my character's full of blunderbuss, so it's going to be a blast. Thanks so much to Renegade Games for providing a review copy of this game. Now, tell us a little bit about the terrain here, Gastel.
And now that we've seen a completed build, you can see we have everything in this box in order to play a game. And this box set includes a special tile, Wellspring tiles, which have special rules. They act like water, but they sort of poison you, but sort of keep you alive at the same time. It's very magical. Now, this box set comes with 6 figures, and we're going to do a creature feature for you, starting with Flash.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with the one that I had a lot of fun playing. This is a Bokburna. So this character, he moves super fast, 5, range of 5. So he does some damage from afar. This is him here. You can see he's got sort of the chain with the dagger on the end. Is that a cutlass?
Yeah, I'd say it's more of a cutlass.
Nice. He's got only attack 2, but defensive 7. But if we flip him over, he's got some cool powers. So he intimidates small and medium-sized creatures are afraid of him, so their defense is reduced.
Okay.
He's got the swashbuckler. So if I attack somebody at range, and then I happen to have somebody next to me, I like shank them with a knife and
nice.
dig it in there for a second attack. So that's you can double up that way. Defensive 3, so he's a little bit better than those little swarm guys that you would get in the traditional base set.
Okay.
And then he's got the cutlass here. So when I destroy an adjacent enemy, then I get to roll the 20-sided die, and he can do some healing.
Oh, really?
So this is a little bit of a different, you can stay in the game a little longer because he could do some attacks, maybe run away, heal, so kill somebody, heal up a bit, and get out of there.
And I noticed he's a Marrow, so he will have some synergies with the Swarm of the Marrow set.
That's right, absolutely. He's terrifying.
That's very cool.
Yes.
That is cool. And range, I find, is pretty powerful in this game. If you have range, then
Absolutely.
it opens
For
up
sure.
a lot of options.
All right, Rusky, what's your first?
My first will be Onshu, the Welkanai. And again, another really cool sculpt. I don't think there's been a bad sculpt that we've come across
No.
at all.
And the paint jobs have been solid.
They have been, for sure. So this one, on the basic side, big move, decent attack, huge defense. This one does have range on that side, range 4. If you flip it over, fairly simplistic power in terms of like there's not a bunch, but you get 2 attacks. So 2 range 4, attack 2s, which is great. You can hit multiple people. Again, you don't have to be right into it.
Right.
Otherwise, you're in close with the range 1. Attack 3, big move. I think if I was playing this character a lot, I think I'd be really taking advantage of that, range for sure.
3 health. That's not very much.
Not a
I've got
ton,
5, and I feel
but
like a comparable character.
It is a 50-point character.
This is 125, so that's
right.
that's
There
to
you
fill
go.
up your
That's right.
your ranks.
But as a 50-point character, somebody that's going to attack 3 at range 4, or attack 2 rather at range 4 is, I think, pretty decent.
Talking about ranged attacks, Kaida the Spring Runner, also a servant of Aguila. Fairly standard on this side. Lots of defense 6.
Wow.
But on this side, the special abilities are that Akita cannot be attacked if the attacker is more than 2 spaces away, and can also leave battles without getting a disengagement attack. Again, only 30 points, but really quite a versatile character.
And again, it's nice the ones that you might choose to kind of round out your point total, can still do damage because you're rolling dice.
Right.
Nice. Beautiful little creature.
Yeah. What's your second one?
Okay, I love this guy. So this is Killian Vane the Third.
Okay.
So it comes from a long line of Killians.
Okay. Yes.
So I'm just going to jump straight to the powers. So we've got our blunderbuss attack from range 4.
Okay.
So and that's for an attack of 3. So he's actually a guy who can stay back, do some serious damage, and all figures adjacent to the figure targeted by him also take damage. So he does splash damage. I think of him as a bit of a glass cannon though, because he's only got a defense of 2. So he is very vulnerable. He can take 5 hits, but he's basically, you're going to splash some damage and then hope they don't come and swarm you. Like, I would not want to play against the those bears, the armored bears in the core set, because I think they would just swarm them and just punch them into oblivion.
You'd probably want those bears in front of you while you're firing from behind their front lines.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be a really cool pairing. So, neat little character, and he's a pirate, so pretty awesome little guy.
Yeah, I notice Age of Annihilation has a lot of pirate theme to it, and there seems to be some synergies with the powers, so that'll be interesting as we play more.
Absolutely. And as ever, just beautiful.
Oh, a fantastic sculpt.
Yeah, looks really cool. Reminds me of like an Overwatch character or something.
Both of your guys have a gun and a sword in their hands.
That's
very,
right.
Very thematic
Yes.
for you.
Range and melee. Yep. So my second character is Fia Boni, the Void Siren. Ooh. And again, has defense 6, some good attack on the basic side. Flip it over, defense drops to 3, 80 points, so you're still under 100. And they come with the black powder markers.
Right.
So you need to have those.
And so those are the option to give you range. Otherwise, it's range 1. But with those, then you get some range, and that allows for a lot of versatility here. Again, the gun and melee weapon.
Yes, interesting.
Yeah, pretty cool. Then there's the Master of Disguise as well. Allows you to roll a dice and just avoid the attack altogether if it's the first time that they've been attacked. And then you don't take disengagement either with this character.
Right, so she can get away scot-free.
That's right.
Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
Very cool. And again, the sculpt is great.
No, we've saved the best for last.
Well, yes, I am last. But Awashia, the Master of Tides, is sort of the big figure in this set. And Awashia has an interesting power where she can actually control minions of, and basically Kaida and Anshu are her servants. And so command the familiar before you do your move, giving more actions on the board.
So good synergies if you have these guys under your control.
Absolutely. But with that, also standing in water. Water usually stops your movement, but that does not happen for her. And in fact gains an additional defense die when in water.
Yeah, defense 5 would be huge.
Yeah, defense 5 is very difficult to break through.
Wow.
Only 4 wounds and 115. So not even the most expensive in this set, but I found her to be just really, really solid when I played with her.
Yeah, I remember like it was almost untouchable in the water.
Yeah.
Got you out of the water, became vulnerable really quickly.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, really, I remember being impressed with the defense. It was hard to hit.
And probably not as good for a newer player because there's so much text here to learn, and she's just so off meta. But for a player who's been into Heroscape for a long time, I think she would be a breath of fresh air.
Or you played this set a couple times. Sort of thing.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't find, and I mean, there are some cards with some text, but there's nothing that's overwhelming about the powers.
Now, how do you find these compared to the Master set?
I found the Master set to be heavy, tanky, swarmy, and a lot of big ones. These guys tend to be, it's their ability powers that I think make them stand out in terms of their sneakiness and their cleverness, and they're a bit more deceptive, I would say, with the, you hit someone from afar and then shank somebody close to you, that sort of thing, where it's like, you might not expect that if you haven't played against characters in this set before.
So maybe some abilities to master them a little bit.
Yeah, and it just gives variety, I think, to your game. Like if you pair the original Battle Master set with this, I think finding in that draft, that'll be where the interest comes in. How do I find an ability for a close-up and a ranged character together?
Right.
Well, and I used this as my captain with one of the swarms that we had, like one of the mobs from the master set, and that's, I guess, the one thing I miss out of this is it doesn't have any of like the mob of 4.
Right.
The
That's
grouping
right.
of 4, which I've said in previous videos, I really am a big fan of that. Charging with a big group.
Although on the smaller board, you can see how.
Oh, of course. Yeah, and I think these are an interesting combination of characters.
Okay, so we actually have 2 other pieces of terrain, which I think look absolutely beautiful, but they do have another function. And we also have 2 additional sets of initiative tokens, so we can make this a 4-player game.
You could be a
if you
4-player
combine it.
if you have the master set or 2 of these sets.
Now, what other function do these serve?
Well, line of sight in Heroscape is literally line of sight of the figurines. So if I put these figurines on opposite side of this tree, they can't see each other, and you actually put your head down and sort of see. There's a little green dot on the card that tells you where the line of sight is from, and so not only does it look cool, but you're actually physically hiding behind a tree.
Very cool. That's awesome. Well, thank you for the introduction and the summary. We do get some extra dice with this, so you can spread the dice out around the board and you don't have to be constantly passing them around. But on its own, this will play by itself. So
It does play well on its own, absolutely.
thanks so much to Renegade Game Studios for providing a review copy of the game. Hope you've enjoyed this summary of it. Please let us know your thoughts. Do you have a favorite character? Is there something that they're still missing in Heroscape? Let us know in the comments and let Renegade Game Studios know what do they need to do in the next iteration of Heroscape. Now get out there
Get gaming
and be legendary.